I'm Lee Partridge and welcome back to the first midweek show of a new season here at Col U TV. On the show tonight, we'll have action and reaction from the Northampton game at the weekend. I think you're joining me in saying I thought we did enough to get something out of the game, and the lads are unlucky not to. But first on the show, last week we spoke about the academy, and again this week we're going to speak about the academy. Last week we spoke to the new sporting director, Dimitri Halaiko, and his hopes for the young players and their progress through the academy into the first team here at Colchester United. Part of that has been some reshuffling behind the scenes. Space opened up with Dave Huss's promotion into the first team management setup, and James McFarlane stepped into the academy manager's role on a permanent basis. David was talking to James here in the studio, and this is what he had to say about his new position.
James, congratulations on the new job. You must be really looking forward to getting going on this new challenge now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, been at the club a while, a long time, feel like I know it, and I'm ready to hopefully push it forward again.
Yeah, and you've done plenty of different roles in the club and the academy. You know, for people that don't know where you've been and what you've done, what kind of roles have you been with us?
Started 2012-13. Started with the under-9s. For those that know the younger squads, Casey Parrish was in the under-9s group, so he's now in under-19. So I've seen that whole generation of players come through. Ended up full-time running the foundation phase, which is like the primary school age players. Then progressed to the YDP, which is secondary school. My latest role was to oversee the whole of the schoolboy programme, assisting Dave. So Dave moved up in January to the first team, and then covered him in that period of time.
In that little period of covering him, did you get a real thought that actually, this next step is a good one for me, and what I want to do now?
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, looking forward now to seeing the whole spectrum from 8s, 23s, all the way through, and hopefully get some more players through to the first team.
Yeah, and that progression that you've had as a coach is what the club are looking for in all their players. So at times you'll have 23 players playing in the first team, and then of course that all filters down. Is that a challenge for the players, or is it always a benefit?
Challenging in terms of what?
In terms of, playing up an age group, or, having to sort of play against lads bigger than themselves and been around a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, we try and stretch players at the right times. So it's not a gimme that you're just going to go up to the next age group. They do have to earn it. And of course, when they get into the latter stages and when they're knocking the door of the first team, they've really got to knock the door down and force their way into the manager's team, because it's not going to be a gimme. But yeah, we try and stretch players at the right time.
Yeah, and obviously development is key, probably all the way through their footballing careers, not just while they're in the academy. But is there a certain age group or age groups where kind of winning games kind of comes into the equation as well?
Well, from under 13s, our groups enter the Premier League Nationals. 13s, 14s is tough because it's only Cat 1 and 2 clubs, so it's predominantly Premier League clubs. 15s is a great year because they don't make the Premier League qualifiers. They qualify for the EFL Nationals. Last year, the 15s did really well. They got to the final, played Rochdale at Lincoln City. And of course, we want to win every game. But that really stressed the players in terms of, if you lose, you're out of this competition. And that's the reality of cup football. So that was really good. So yeah, 15s up, we start ramming that, of course, within our style of play, and making sure that the individual development is paramount.
Yeah, and obviously those older age groups in the academy have been back a couple of weeks, 3 weeks now. How's it all gone over at Florence Park with those groups?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, 18s had a good start with their new coaching partnership, new coaching team. They go to Italy in a week's time, which will be brilliant for them for 2 weeks. The 16s, last year's 15s, had a residential open school to get them going. So we've had individual meetings with them of their aspirations and what they've got to do to get there. And then 23s, there's been a lot of first team exposure in terms of training and games as well. So it's been a good start. Early days, but it's been a good start.
Yeah, and of course you must be looking forward to when all the groups are back and all the games get going.
Yeah, 100%. So this is almost the calm before the storm, really. They're back mid-August when we welcome all the schoolboy groups back, and then it'll be full on from then.
Congratulations to James, and I'm sure you'll join me in wishing him all the best. Staying with the academy for another moment or two, the under-18s have completed their pre-season schedule in England but have headed off to Italy for a trip that takes in 3 friendlies against top Italian oppositions. And we'll have some more news on how they got on in the next couple of weeks or so. Fantastic for them to go out there, great experience for them, and been able to test their skills against the Italian sides. And that hopefully can improve their development, and we'll see them in the first team here at Colchester United in the coming maybe months or years, whatever it may be. Talking of the first team, and we mentioned earlier we took on Northampton for the first game of the season up at Sixfields at the weekend. Personally, I think most of us feel that we could have got something or should have got something out of the game. We did enough, especially in the second half. Good performance from the lads against a side that are one of the favourites to get promoted this year. A chance right at the end for Noah, and the keeper made a real good save to stop him scoring. Let's get the thoughts of Noah, who spoke to Glenn Speller after the game itself.
A case now of so near and yet so far. You should have got something from that.
Yeah, definitely. Not really much to say more than that, really. We'll guide in there. It's a good, I think, first half maybe. First 20-25 we found it a bit difficult, didn't start too well, but we grew into the game and we've had the better chances, I think, out of the teams, and to come away losing, yes, it's hard to take, but got to take the positives. First game in the season, come to a tough ground. These were obviously up there last year, got a good side, so yeah, we can take the positives from that, but yeah, frustrating not to win, but go again.
You come from behind twice, and you're so close to getting that point in the final couple of moments. Either side of the keeper, I guess it goes in, but yeah, you have to react quickly.
Yeah, I should score, but yeah, no, not much to say more about that. Yeah, I should score, but yeah, a bit frustrating for myself as well there.
But you've had plenty of influence on the game elsewhere. You're winning the penalty in a really tight area where maybe some people might have said, well, I'm not going to do much from here, but you win the penalty. You score yourself a goal, getting on the end of some great work by Frank Nouvelé, so you've had some real influence on that game.
Yeah, I think at times it was a bit of a scrappy game, so I was kind of trying to do what I could do when I had the opportunity. I think I did that obviously with winning the penalty and scoring the goal. Like you say, yeah, good work from Frank coming on, making an impact like he did. So yeah, brilliant from him, but yeah, it's just frustrating.
We just had your head coach up here, and he was delighted with the discipline that you've shown throughout that game, because they had the ball a lot of the time, but I think it was like 20 minutes into the second half before they've created the opportunity. You must be pleased with how the team worked themselves into the ground this afternoon. Yeah, definitely.
I think we showed a good shape, hard to play through. Yeah, I think they've found it difficult to create a clear-cut chance, obviously, other than their first goal. We don't think it's a penalty. I obviously haven't seen it back, but little things like that probably didn't go our way at times. But yeah, we showed good togetherness with the team, our shape, really tough to play through. So, like I said, there's a lot of positives from the game.
Don't like to talk about referees, and you obviously have to be careful about what you say, and they're human at the end of the day, but it seemed a frustrating afternoon for both sets of players out there.
Yeah, I could just agree with that, really. Yeah. Like you say, I've got to be careful what you say, but I think, yeah, at times there was periods where both teams would be frustrated with decisions.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, okay, you've been beaten this afternoon, and we know all your work goes into 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon coming off with the 3 points, but you've got to take some positivity, because you said these were right up there last year, and but for one goal are a League One side.
Exactly. It's first game of the season. We've come here with our game plan, which we've carried out. It's not often really you score 2 goals away from home and don't come away with at least a point, which is the frustrating thing. But like I've said before, so many positives from the game that we can then take on to next week, the week after, because we've done what we wanted to do within the game. So at this stage of the season, obviously all the points are throughout the season, but the performance being there is what we look at, and then the points will come.
And just finally, from your point of view, nice to get off the mark nice and early as well.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. That's obviously the goal coming into the game was to get off the mark, so yeah, really happy to do that.
So it's pretty obvious there that Noah was extremely disappointed and frustrated with the defeat and his chance not going in right near the end. But he's off the mark for the season. Another good performance from Noah and the rest of the lads. And we know Noah gets in some great positions, so he's going to score plenty more goals for us before the end of the season. Right, shall we take a look at the highlights? Yes, we should. Let's take a look at the highlights, and then we'll hear the thoughts of Wayne Brown immediately afterwards.
I know it's a defeat, but there's quite a lot of positivity about that performance this afternoon. But at the end of the day, it's the results after the referee blows his whistle which counts, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is, and that will never change. It was a real disciplined performance. I felt, regardless of the 3 goals, all goals are avoidable. I thought the first one, our pockets in front of our back four was a little bit too big from a throw-in, and we thought they find a pocket and slide and managed to get a goal off our throw-in, which was disappointing. But you talk about the group that we've got, that I had the pleasure of working with last year, the majority of the same this season, and they kept going. We wasn't very productive, I would say, in the first half, but I thought we contained them. They did have the ball, but they didn't really hurt us that much, and then you find yourself 1-1 winning the game of football, and it was about staying in the game, and that's exactly what we did. Obviously, second half, their first opportunity to score a goal was after 25 minutes of the second half. Now that's testament to the lads. That's testament to the lads in the fact that they were well drilled, well structured, well organised on the pitch, and they contained them. Who is what is a very strong Northampton team. Not only did we contain them, but we created more in that 25 minutes than we did in the whole first half, which again, another positive, which was pleasing. But you're going to get some knocks in this game, and we had a few today. I've never been one for hiding behind referees or decisions or mistakes, but I'm just hearing around the ground now that there's people that have been in the game for many years, and that's by far one of the worst refereeing performances that I've witnessed. Just inconsistencies.
I think it was for both sides as well.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. I've not really seen the penalty that they was given at the end of the first half, but Junior gets hit with a ball from 3 yards, and they're saying it's handball. I mean, if that's where we are in a game of football, then what are we doing? What are we doing it for? The lads have worked their socks off all pre-season, as have Northampton, as have a lot of teams up and down the country, and they're the sort of things that you need to go for you. A little bit of common sense. I mean, Junior was kicked in the head first half, and there wasn't a yellow card or anything of sorts given to the individual, which is shocking at any level. But listen, I'm not here to hide behind referees or decisions. It's disappointing that we didn't get some of the decisions today, and some of them went against us, and it will happen again this season. But what I would say about the group is they kept going, even to the final whistle. They never know that they're beaten, and we even create an opportunity with 2 minutes to go with injury time left, and it should be in the back of the net. But what sets in is fatigue. It's going to set in fatigue for the next few games, but especially the first game, where physically and mentally people get tired, people switch off, both defensively and attacking, and it's the fine margins that you really need to go against just to get anything out of games of football.
It's the referee's first ever game in the Football League today, and there were moments probably where he's lost control and maybe hasn't whistled for things and various things, but I guess that'll happen throughout the season. I want to talk about the positivity from your side today, which was to get back into the game twice, as you've mentioned, create that chance quite late on, and actually, for the closing sort of 20 minutes, carry the threat to them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my team talk after the game was all about positivity. It was all about a never say lose attitude, which we've got, which we had last season, which we've got again this season in the first game. And they don't know that they're beat. They keep going. We can make 5 subs out of 7 this year, and when you introduce subs, you want them to have an impact. And the big man did. He created something out of nothing because of his desire and his will, his work ethic, and that desire to make something out of nothing. And he did that, and credit to him, because he made the second goal. Now we've got a bit of a lift, and then obviously it's real disappointing, a sort of sucker punch, if you like, to concede that third one. But again, I thought the lads didn't show disappointment. They brushed themselves down and they kept going. We committed players forwards, obviously, at 3-2 down, and we nearly got the equaliser. If we're sitting here with the equaliser, would this conversation be any different? No. Because you can't change what's happened. But as I said, ultimately proud of the lads. I thought they did really well today, both in their discipline, in their shape, nullified a good Northampton team and created, and that's all we can ask for.
I think the chance for Noah Chill was either side of the keeper. It's 3-3, and we're still having the same conversation admittedly. Their third goal, I mean, it does start from deep inside their own half, where someone's tried to put pressure on maybe a centre half, or maybe they could have sat back and they've sort of picked their way around you, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right. And as I said, I've just mentioned the discipline. You know, we played 100 minutes today. So for lads to make poor decisions, yes, they're going to make poor decisions. You know, fatigue will set in mentally and physically. People will switch off. It happened for the 90 minutes in stages of the game. But in the main, we were disciplined. We did have good concentration levels, and we did nullify them. And it's just those fine margins that you really need to go for you, and ultimately they didn't today.
I mean, we can talk about budgets, we can talk about players, etc., and what they've got and what you haven't got and that sort of thing. But you've got some real quality in your side. We saw it last season. You know, these players that have been around the block a few times. You've got the quality in there, haven't you?
That's no doubt. I think anyone that saw us last year, we were much the same regards to discipline in how we went about our business, but we've also got quality in the final third. I think we scored in every game that we sort of took in charge, 22 games, all but 3, I think, all but 3 or 4. So it's a real good return. So we have got a threat, we do carry a threat, and we will cause teams problems this year, no shadow of a doubt. And if the concentration gets better, which it will, with fitness levels, with concentration levels, the way we drill the lads, we will nullify teams. So I think we do hold a real good threat.
I mean, you talk about nullifying there, but the second word you use there is threat, and that's what you have to. It's all very well nullifying teams, but you do carry that threat going forward. I mean, John Akindi, Freddie said you're going to go with 2 up front. You want to be positive.
Yeah, listen, we've got different shapes and systems that we can go with different personnel. Yes, we do want to add more quality that will improve our squad. Everyone does, and we're no different. So we're working hard to do that. There's 33 days left of a transfer window, so there's still plenty of time. And as I've mentioned before, it's been quite a unique window this year, with internationals taking place in the summer. You know, not much business being done, and we've had to be patient, and we will be patient until we feel that we get the right people in to add the quality where we can improve our threat against teams, and that will happen.
You know the inevitable question that's coming next, because we're getting inundated. How close are you? I mean, you say you've got 33 days left, but you'd want them in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I've been watching Sky Sports like everybody else, and I'm hearing people in the Premier League having the same conversations with reporters. You know, they have to be patient, because there's certain individuals out there that obviously we've got our eye on, and we're fishing in a small pool with a handful of other clubs for those individuals. And all we can do is identify them, offer the best package that we can, and then it's down to the individuals to make their own decisions, which they're entitled to go to which club that they feel has got the best ambition or the best finances or the best location, call it what you will, that works for them. So as I said, there's no panic. There's 33 days. I'm sure the supporters want to see new faces, and we want to strengthen our squad, and that will never change. We've got 33 days to do it, and obviously we're working hard behind the scenes to replace and add.
The faces you've got at the moment have done a good job today, though, and almost got you there. So you know, sometimes what you've got in the building, people maybe take a little bit for granted. No Tommy Smith or Emir Hughes today. What's the news and latest with them, mate?
Yeah, it's positive with Ems. We feared the worst. We felt that he might have to go and have an op, but that's not the case, thankfully. Regards to time frame and time scale when he'll be back, it's still a little bit unclear, but it's an injury that we need to manage properly and make sure that we manage it in the right way where he can come back and stay fit. Tom is going to see a specialist this week with his foot, so again we'll have a better indication as to where he is. But ultimately we had Shea on the bench today, we had Marley on the bench today, Tom Dallow's back, which is a big plus for us, and credit where credit's due, because I'm all about quality, and those individuals, especially the first 2 that I mentioned, the 2 youngsters, they've been exceptional through pre-season, and they will get game time if they keep improving, if they keep their levels of performances and affecting games of football, they will get an opportunity, and ultimately that's what I'm about, quality.
And just finally for me, you can't get everyone in the side, you're only allowed to name 11, and Alex Newby is the newbie, as it were, gets on for a couple of minutes, he's going to have to bide his time.
Of course, if you find yourself out of the team, then you've got to do everything that you can to get back into the team. That's football, that will never change. You know, competition for places is rife, and that's the way you want it. Ultimately, he had a little bit of a setback during pre-season with COVID, which knocked him back a little bit. But he's raring to go. He's staking his claim like everybody else. But what we'll do, as I say, we'll pick a team to go out and get results, and that's all we did today.
A positive defeat, if ever you can have that.
Yeah, call it what you will. There's loads of positives in the game. We've said that, loads and loads of positives. It still hurts.
Yeah.
You know, it's still raw. We've not got anything from a game which I fully believe we deserved. But you brush yourself down. You're going to get disappointments today during the season, as an individual and as a collective. And it's what you do and how you use those disappointments to take it forward. That's gone now. Yes, we will do a debrief. We'll analyse the game. I'll get my words out in a minute, and we'll try and put the wrongs right as we do every other week. But again, there's so many positives to take forward into the next fixture, and that's all we can ask for, and build on those positives.
Thanks for joining.
That's Wayne there as he caught up with Glenn Speller after the Northampton game with his thoughts on the game itself. Right, some breaking news now of a new signing. It's a goalkeeper. It's Kieran O'Hara, and we caught up with him a short while ago to talk about his move to join us here at Colchester United.
Kieran signed for Colchester United. How did the move come about, and how did you find out that there was interest there?
Yeah, no, delighted obviously. The manager got in touch with my agent obviously. I spoke to Darren and he expressed obviously that you guys were interested, and yeah, I was excited to get down there and get everything over the line.
And obviously you've been without a club since the summer. How hard has it been? Have you been training on your own, or have you been training elsewhere with groups?
Yeah, of course. I've obviously been looking after myself. It's limited to what you can do really, but yeah, I always look after myself. So yeah, I'm been keeping myself fit as fit as possible.
Yeah, you must be really looking forward to getting in a group though, and doing the normal stuff that you goalies do together.
Yeah, no, really looking forward to starting, to getting back on the grass and getting up to speed. So yeah, it's I can't wait now.
And you've got some level of knowledge of the lower leagues as well with the clubs you've been at, Burton and Fleetwood. You must feel that you can sort of hit the ground running when you come to Colchester.
Yeah, no, I'm well experienced in obviously leagues 1 and 2. So yeah, excited to come over. Obviously, I've played down here before. And I've always been impressed with the setup, so yeah, I'm excited to get going.
And you must be wanting to fight for that number 1 jersey with Sam Hornby, two decent goalies vying for that position.
Yeah, definitely. I think competition's something I've had wherever I've been. I think it's healthy for the position to get the best out of everyone. So yeah, looking forward to staking my claim and showing what I can do and helping the team out.
So that's the thoughts of our new signing, new goalkeeper, Kieran O'Hara, as he joins us here at Colchester United. Talking of Colchester United, tickets are available, of course, for Saturday's game against Carlisle. Go to colutickets.com, or you can get tickets on the day here itself at the JobServe Community Stadium. I'll be back on Saturday with a pre-match show ahead of the Carlisle game. If you do want to contact us here at the club for anything, maybe a mention on the show, maybe something in the programme on a match day or on the big screen on a match day, please do contact us here, media@colchesterunited.net. That's about it for me. Have a great week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you back here again on Saturday. Until then, it's goodbye for now.